The greatest advantages of teaching online are access, having students self-direct their own learning, and also freeing up instructors to be in the classroom as much as they want to be and outside of the classroom as much as they want to be, and really manage that teaching environment in different ways. I would say that what appeals most to our students is access and ease of scheduling. That definitely appeals to instructors as well. And I think it just gives different types of learners a different avenue to take our courses.
I feel that the greatest advantages of teaching online are the convenience and the accessibility, especially for students. They get to access the study material in the class whenever they want, as often as they need, and it keeps professors and instructors from having to repeat material.
One of the things that I've learned over the years that I've been teaching online is that there's a lot of flexibility on the part of students when it comes to teaching online and learning online. And for non-traditional students, especially mothers and workers and older students, time is not on their side, and so they work according to their own pace, and the online structure is a fit for them.
I think some of the greatest advantages of teaching online is I can work with some students who may not have a traditional schedule. So being able to communicate asynchronously, they can send me a question at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can respond at 10 o'clock the next day, and for me to be able to just have that communication and that learning experience with somebody who may not traditionally be able to take a class at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can still, convey ideas and they can still learn in that situation. So,
another advantage is that it brings about student engagement. And when I talk about student engagement, is compared to the classroom again, we have certain students who may not speak up, they are shy, or they lack the appropriate language to use to explain themselves in class. But in the online setting, the way it is formatted, there's a room for discussion board, there's a room for other forums that the students can engage each other.
So along with the wonderful fact that it's asynchronous, that also can be a big challenge because sometimes getting response back from students can be pretty difficult. I may not get emails back from them. They might not check their email regularly. Another one of the challenges is to try to establish rapport with the students. A lot of times, again, when you're only communicating via text, it makes it very different than me being able to read body language and things like that. So sometimes getting a feel for how much the student really understands.
The challenges in the online setting are technologically based, because if you don't have the technical know-how in using computer materials and technology, you cannot teach online.
There are many challenges with teaching online. I think one of the biggest is managing expectations, both student expectations and instructor expectations. An instructor has to very much be ready to teach in the online environment and have a course ready and almost second guess him or herself and check and double check to make sure that everything is there for the students. And managing those student expectations as well, because we always run into students who think online learning is easier, you spend less time in the online classroom, and these are just misconceptions, bad information that's out there. So I really do think in my own experience, it's preparing students to do as much, if not more work online than they would if we were meeting twice a week face-to-face. So kind of getting them ready from day one to work hard, and also being prepared to meet all of the challenges, or maybe not so many challenges, that they might run into by putting a course out there complete and ready to go on day one.
And so the most important thing is to have the capacity to use the medium of instruction to your advantage. If you don't have that capacity, it's going to be a challenge for you. as an instructor to use the online material to teach.
When you teach a face-to-face course, you have 15 weeks to refine and change it, and kind of take one day as it comes and change for the next day. If you construct an online course properly, it's all there on day one. So that challenge at the beginning of a term is just much larger, I've always felt, than if I'm just teaching 2 days a week face-to-face.